Sports Court is in session. On the docket tonight in Sports Court, we're arguing the case, is Draymond Green a dirty basketball player? Now look, I'm gonna make this as clear as day. I'm from Detroit, where we like our players to be a little bit gritty and a little less sedity. Draymond Green brings everything that you want, brings that edge, brings that intensity. I'm not even gonna get into the Michigan State bias that apparently I must have. But no, Draymond Green is not a dirty basketball player. He's the guy you want on your team when it's winning time because he does all the dirty things and he does them well.
I don't think Draymond Green is entirely a dirty player. I think he plays with a lot of hustle and a lot of fight, but I do think there are a few things throughout his career that he has done that maybe can look a little questionable. I think we'll throw it back to the playoffs between Golden State and Oklahoma City. I think you'll remember what I'm talking about. Steven Adams, he took a foot to the area there. When you look back at that on replay, that just looked a little bit extra to me. He plays that tough defense and that hard-nosed defense, and you love to see it, but I do think a few times he can go a bit extracurricular.
Who are we to decide what's extracurricular or not? You know, I'm not a professor, what do I know? I will say he will walk right up to the line and question what he can and cannot get away with. But that edge is what makes some of the best players. I mean, you gotta agree, Nate, that people like Draymond Green, people like Ndamukong Suh, for example, these are guys you want on your team, right?
Absolutely, and for years I enjoyed Ndamukong Suh on the Lions as well. However, I didn't love when he was, stomping on dudes' chests out there on the Thanksgiving game for the whole world to see. I'm just going to throw a guy out there who is a dirty player, Grayson Allen. He's been dirty ever since he was in college, out there tripping people, out there stepping on people, stepping over people. That is a person that I would 100% say dirty player. Draymond Green goes kind of on a game-to-game basis.
I think Nate brought up an interesting point when he brought up Grayson Allen. Do you have the respect of most of the players in the league? I think there are people who are gonna say, I hate playing against that guy because he's a pain, but he has my respect. The league does not respect Grayson Allen, but there are several players who respect what Draymond Green brings to the game, and it's that toughness, that edge, that intensity, especially on the defensive end, that players come to appreciate and respect. I mentioned being from Detroit. We won 3 NBA titles in my lifetime, and each one of those teams played with edge, played with defensive intensity, all featured players that people considered questionable, be it Bill Laimbeer or Rick Mahorn or even Rasheed Wallace. You gotta have that edge if you wanna win, and I think Draymond Green is great at bringing that to the teams that he plays for.
I absolutely agree. I think Draymond Green certainly does have the respect of the league, whereas, some of those other guys, Grayson Allen maybe doesn't. Draymond, obviously a very hard-nosed defender. You can look at another guy of mine, Tony Allen out of Oklahoma State. If you're playing that hard-nosed defense, you can sometimes come across as a dirty player, but it's a game-to-game basis.
What do you think? Head to Facebook or text COURT to 616-559-1310 and comment. Next week, we'll highlight our favorites.
Man, I have been excited to do this for a long time. Until next time, Sports Court is adjourned.